Hey guys, welcome back. It's your boy King of Doom 11 and we are back with another reaction video. The reaction video we're going to be watching today is I drink my urine and live in a tent with my kids, my extraordinary family. This is on the YouTube channel Truly, and before we get into the video I wanted to say a big thank you to Truly for allowing other YouTubers to view their content and react to the videos. So, let's get into it, shall we?
I live in a tent with 2 kids and they love it. I hope.
Do you love living in a tent, Nani?
Yeah. I like drinking my own urine. Yummy. People have criticised my parenting style, calling me crazy, mad, extreme. Can you sit down now?
So no regrets?
So this is where we live. This is our tent home. This is my son Asa, and Asa is 5, and my daughter Alana, and Alana is 7. Okay,
I don't notice a father here.
You guys want to go sit back there then? Because he's going to ask me a few more questions. Thank you, Asa.
Well, all I've got to say is, living in a tent, it's not the end of the world. But I wonder why you're living in a tent. I can't judge about living in a tent. I live in a 2-bedroom static caravan. So, yeah. By choice. But, yeah, I wonder why you're in a tent. Maybe she's homeless.
We've been living in this way for about a year. We first started living in a tent because of the rental crisis. I didn't want a small unit, and that's...
Yeah, because of the rental crisis. Basically, judging by her voice, I'm going to say she's Australian or possibly a New Zealander. But yeah, the cost of living crisis over here in the UK is really bad. I'm lucky that with the position I have, and the place I can stay is, I know it's not ideal, but it works. And I have it where completely rent free. I do work for my landlord, and that pays for my keep. I do help them out on the farm and do some jobs for them, and then that pays for me to be able to stay here, so I don't actually have to pay for any bills, and everything comes fully included in that aspect. But yeah, yeah, I know that the rental crisis and across several countries, and the cost of living crisis, it is just ridiculous. Everything is just getting way too expensive, and we just need the chance just to chill out and go back to normal.
Pretty much all we could afford with the state of the rental market at the moment. I was also working as a marine biologist, and I realised I was not happy. I didn't have the energy that I really wanted and the capacity to spend with my children. And so we moved into a tent, and I really love this way of life. Fruit kiss. Fruit kiss? Mwah. I love being connected to nature. I love having the trees as my walls.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily safe though, is it? You could just have someone come through the woods and just be like, oh look. And then a woman and 2 innocent kids, I might attack and sexually abuse the woman and possibly the kids and kill them all in all no. But that's the risks you take to live in this situation.
Be gentle. So this is Asa and Alana's room. They've got all their toys. So my kids sleep in the same room here, and I just sleep right next to them. I think it's really important for good attachment, for us to be together and to...
Yes, that is good, but it can also cause over-attachment. And the last thing you need is a clingy kid who doesn't feel comfortable being away from mum. And it's going to make them grow up seeing the world in a very weird way. I'm kind of glad that I wasn't. I was actually isolated quite a lot, to be fair. But yeah.
I feel safe. It's how we've always been living, in tribe. I don't have lots and lots of rooms to clean. I used to live in a 4-bedroom house with a swimming pool. You know, I spend so much of my time sweeping leaves out of the swimming pool. This is literally all that I own in the world now.
Yeah, well, if you did it yourself, then you definitely save money having to pay like a gardener or someone to come maintain the pool for you, which is a good way of doing it because it means it saves a lot of money. But yeah.
Now, and
And she has that look of like someone who would live in a tent. Like you're someone you're looking and thinking, yeah, you live in a tent.
I feel really grateful to have this simple existence. My two children started the year at the Steiner together. My son started there and hasn't really been enjoying it. Wait.
Scared me.
Okay,
Oh,
go on, and then put it straight onto those firelighters. And so I've taken him out and we're now, I guess you would call it unschooling for the moment.
Well, the school system largely is a scam. They don't train people for work. They train people to be factory workers. That's the difference. They train people to get to quality, and then you can just go work in a factory. But even nowadays, like it's like, oh, you need experience, but you can't get experience without getting a job, and you end up just being in a circle of either having a job instantly, where like a family business you can get into, or setting up your own business, or YouTube in my case, and sort of thing, and also my part-time business I do. But yeah, like teaching them some good outside like kind of survival skills. This is bushcraft as it's called, making fires and camping and all that sort of thing. It is a good thing as well. To be able to light fires with your bare hands is great. But they do need some education and some element of that part of life.
It's nice to be outside a lot, isn't it? Do you like being outside?
yeah.
You like collecting bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of exploring that with Asa at the moment, just following what he wants to do. And it seems like a lot of the time he just really enjoys just chilling out, reading books, listening to music. He just really likes to kind of relax. What do you like the most to do with the family? What do you like most doing with me and Lani?
Being together.
Aww. You want to come in? Do you love living in a tent, Lani?
Yeah.
What do you like about being barefoot, Lani?
So then I can feel the grass.
Yeah.
Being barefoot and walking around in an environment like this can have its benefits. You do get to feel things you don't normally feel. However, they're in Australia. I know you got. I'm gonna assume they're in Australia. Doesn't Australia have, I don't know, the taipan? One of the most dangerous snakes, most deadly snakes in the world, if not arguably the deadliest. And black widow spiders and all sorts of other fauna and flora that just want to kill you. It's kind of hard, really, to say. But ideally, you don't want to be stepping through there and get like a thorn in your foot or a spiky stick go through your foot. So it'd be best to put shoes on your kids.
To feel nice under your feet?
Yes.
Yeah. Me and my kids are usually barefoot all the time. Apart from in the wet season when it got really, really muddy, we got a staph infection. So you have to have a respect for nature.
That is true. You do have to have a respect for nature. And staph infections, that is very bad. That should have been a sign for you, lady, to put some shoes on and possibly more clothes.
So this is my Zen meditation medicine plant garden, and
So she's one of those hippie freaks. Got it.
the kids love the space too.
Yay!
To be surrounded by nature, in nature, bare feet is the most important thing for our health and for our happiness. I don't take my children to the doctors for small things. It would have to be something really major. I believe what doctors can do is they can diagnose from a physical perspective, and that's really helpful.
There's a lot more to it than that. A minor thing, and something may not be minor. It may look minor, but there could be something internal that you don't notice. You not taking your kids to doctors is the reason why we have what's called the social care system, or child protective services around the world. That the children, when you choose to have children, that is the most important. Like your whole way of life changes. You have to then step up to protect and look after those children. No other thing matters. If it means that, I know obviously in Australia and America you pay for healthcare, whereas over in the UK we have the luxury, I'd say, of free healthcare, but it's not perfect. If your child is unwell or has a minor fever, little bit of a rash or something, you, who may not, unless of course you've had extensive medical training to know exactly what it is that you are looking at, that could be something that looks completely minor but could be insanely deadly. So take your kids to the hospital, put them back in school. You can get a motorhome. It's better, it's more secure, you can move around, you don't have to live in a tent, and put on more clothes.
Some of the time. We've got the lucky bamboo
Lucky
to
bamboo.
bring us good luck. And then what's this, Lani?
It's wild raspberry.
And wild raspberry is
kindness.
it's for kindness, and it's also for motherhood. And I do urine therapy.
You do what? I'm sorry? Urine therapy. And why is there a toilet on that table?
The whole idea of the urine therapy for me, it's a self-love practice. This is...
That's disgusting. And she keeps her urine in jars. Oh, lady, do you know urine can kill you? Urine, yes, okay, it is predominantly water, but it has so many excess waste products. It's high in salt, ammonia, and so many other things. And it makes your kidneys work so goddamn hard. And it can kill you. You do not ingest urine. Maybe in a small quantity, it's safe. But you do not ingest urine at all, preferably. You don't put it in your eyes, do not put it in your mouth, do not put it in your ears, your nose, your bum. Do not put it anywhere except for in the toilet. You should not be consuming your own urine. That is disgusting, and you need help.
a fresh urine. So I loop my urine, which means whenever I need the toilet, I'll pee it into a jar and I'll drink it. There should be no part of us that disgusts us. Yummy. I started off just putting it on my face.
No.
It's really good for acne and skin conditions.
No, it's not. If you used to use something called Google Lady, you'll find out it has no medical benefits. It may not be. It does not provide any medical benefits. It does not provide any positive benefits in any way, shape, or form. All it's going to do is slowly make you very ill, shut down your kidneys, and when you're on kidneys and you have to have kidney dialysis, that's pretty much your life over. Unless, of course, you can get a transplant. And in your countries, again, assuming you're in Australia, that's not cheap.
Any eczemas or things like that. When I first started doing the urine therapy, my kids found it absolutely hilarious that Mummy was drinking her own wee. But my kids are, they're pretty light and they're pretty funny. And so now it's become very much more normalized to them. They just see me doing it and they don't really question it anymore. Okay, so hey guys, it's a really beautiful time of the day.
Why does she have to say it like that? It's a beautiful time of the day. Yes, it does look quite splendid. And you have a fairly substantial tent. You have lovely surroundings. But lady, if you can film something, you can Google something and find out that what you are doing is wrong. Not so much living in the tent, but everything else.
So I've been working on social media for probably the last 5 years. TikTok really...
Oh, okay, so you've been basically putting videos out of you basically abusing your kids, taking them out of school, all for them to have a chance to get an education and actually get a job in the future where they could potentially earn enough money to them and buy their own house and put you in later life care and all that sort of stuff where they can look after you, have a family of themselves. They're not going to be able to do that if they're just sat in the woods all day, lighting fire on sticks, which could then potentially create a forest fire, which then could potentially kill you and everyone around you. Forest fires are very hard to control. Ask America for that example.
Really just kind of took off when I moved into the tent. I think people were just really interested in living an alternative lifestyle. Horse, cow, sheep, pig, and cockerel.
I love a cockerel.
I put up a video of us in the tent. Somebody commented, "Oh, it looks lovely, but I would be so scared that someone would come and snatch my children out of the tent." And I literally commented underneath, "Wow, that thought never entered my mind."
Wow, if that thought never entered your mind, then you shouldn't be doing it. Lady, you've put, and bear in mind, you've made this little documentary, this little video. You're going to put it out, it's going to go on to YouTube like it has, for everyone around the world to see. One of those people is going to be a child snatcher, at least one of them, and they're going to use the trees, they're going to find your location, and they are going to come and snatch your kids. And or kill you in the process.
You know, what about the snakes? Well, I feel blessed if I see a snake.
You shouldn't be blessed, lady. If you see a snake, run.
Can you recall some of the negative comments?
I've had lots of people say how disgusting it is that I'm drinking my own urine.
Because it is disgusting.
Just woken up, I collected my first pee. I've had lots of people just calling me crazy, mad, saying that
Yeah, you are.
it's really extreme.
Yeah.
I can see from the responses and the
Who's
reaction.
that? Why couldn't you just live in there? It's a nice little house. It's basically the same as what I got, a little like kind of static caravan sort of house thing. Why don't you just live in there? And stop having your kids in the tent and put them back in school.
How people are feeling this fear within themselves of choosing another way of being able to live in nature.
Elizabeth, if Lucy's landowner. Oh, so you're staying on land in her property. Got it. You paying rent? So if not, you're a fraud.
Well, the day
And you're also technically deemed as a squatter, which then is illegal. So, another reason why Child Protective Services should be called. Because you're technically neglecting your kids' welfare, because you don't want to take them to the hospital. You're neglecting your kids' welfare, in effect, you don't want them to get an education. You're keeping them in someone else's garden, who possibly hasn't been vet checked. And also have them out in the wild for any child snatcher to come and take. So, yeah. And if they see you drinking urine, they'll have you sectioned, and you'll be sent to a mental institution. Your kids will be put in foster care, and you'll never see them again. So, yeah, good for you, Lucy.
that I met Lucy, and she told me that she had been living in a tent at a local place here. So my first thought was, well, if you've got 2 children, you better come here because I'll help you and I'll keep you safe.
See, this is a nice person. You've done very well, lady. Although, I probably would have done the same, but I would have spoken to her about the urine drinking. That's no good. But
The threat of being kicked out was, you know, hanging over us in quite a few places, so.
oh, so you're being kicked out. Probably because you didn't want to pay your rent, because you don't believe in that sort of thing.
And it happened 3 times.
Right,
So
there you go.
really grateful.
Hooray for me!
How's the community supported Lucy through the judgment she's received about her parenting?
People say that I'm a bad parent. I think living in a tent has been quite confronting for a lot of people who want to project onto me that I'm homeless, who...
Well, you technically are. I'm not saying you're a bad parent, and you're just not catering for your children's needs. People need an education. They need to learn the basics of math, basics of science, basics of English. They need to know the basics. Because without having the basics and having a grade... Yes, okay, grades, I don't personally believe in them, and they just show you've gone through a process. But schools, yes, they are making people as factory workers, quote unquote. But you do need an education, because especially in a lot of places in the world, you cannot get a job without any qualifications. And that includes your A stars to C's, or 9 to 1s, depending on whatever unit you use, or point systems, or whatever. If you don't get any grades, and if you don't attend school and get any grades, you will not get a job. And then you will be homeless, and so will your kids, and that's just how it is. You as a marine biologist, as you said earlier, that pays very well. You should have money in the millions. But nope, you choose to be homeless, in a tent, being a crazy lady who drinks her own urine.
who want to project their fear onto me.
I don't have children. I don't know what I'd do if I had children. I'd be homeschooling them. I wouldn't have them in the system at all.
Well, that's how I feel as well. Now,
Homeschooling, yes, is good, but you've got to be teaching them the fundamentals of English, maths and science. Anything after that, if they want to learn it, that's on them. But at least teach them the fundamentals, English, maths and science, and get them in for the educational grade where they can then proceed to have potentially a job.
Now, but I'm also listening to my children and following what they want.
So they seem happy and they seem a good family, and I applaud Lucy's mothering techniques.
Feel like for me, because I think I haven't really lived with people who are so aligned with me, so it's really nice to come here and feel like I'm a good mother.
Well, I think you are.
I kind of knew that I was, but I had all these people telling me that I wasn't.
You're fine.
Hello.
So putting it.
But she's not even homeschooling the kids. She said that. She said she's not teaching them the basics. She's like maybe reading a couple of books to them, but she's not teaching them basic math, basic English, basic science.
Out there and just being really kind of comfortable with my own choices and saying, hey, I'm a single mum living in a tent. You might call me homeless.
Okay, but why are you a single mum? Could it be because of you drinking urine before being in homeless in a tent, and possibly you didn't want to pay your rent, which caused problems between you and your partner, and that's why your partner left, and that's the reason why you got evicted 3 times? We'll never know.
But I'm at home within myself. What's Ace's
And that child now.
Climbing trees. I'm gonna be like a fish.
But you're not a fish.
I want to.
You're a human being.
Yeah. With legs.
I would love to teach my children similar values to what I have, and feeling like you are free to live the life that you choose. If you want to go off and live in the woods, you can go off and live in the woods. There's no limits.
So no regrets?
Oh, she hesitated. I think she does regret being homeless and living in the tent. Wow, it's finally coming back to bite you in the arse, eh, lady?
No, I feel I could always go back to living in a house if I wanted to. Clearly, I don't want to at this time. I'm just really enjoying living in this.
If you quit your job and you're having to rely off of another lady to basically let you stay rent free and on her property in a tent, it basically means you have no money, or very little money, to pay for a home. So I think you're just bad with money, and you have no concept of paying rent or whatever, and the reason why you got kicked out, reason why you're living in a tent, and the reason why you're choosing to take all of your anger and frustration out that you keep deep down out on your children by pulling them out of the school because you don't want them to have an education, because you think that they will have an education, that they'll end up like one of the people who kicked you out of their property.
Little kind of fairyland space that we've created.
It's not fairyland at all. Absolutely not.
That's going to make me sound really crazy.
Yeah, and you are crazy. Well, guys, that's pretty much that's the video. Well, this is a kind of hard one, really, because you can see some of the points that she makes, very valid points that she makes. Yes, okay, the kids are there, and she's taking them out of the schooling system because it is largely a scam, but she's not teaching them any of the fundamentals. She's not even homeschooling them. Yes, okay, some of the skills that she is teaching them is very good. Like, it took me ages to learn how to light a fire with my hands using a ferro rod and a sparker or flint and steel. It took me ages. And it's good to know those skills. So if you ever are out in a situation like how she is, you can make do. But it was a few key things in there. She said that she was threatened 3 times for being kicked out of different houses, out of her houses. Well, the only way you'd get pretty much told to leave or threatened to leave is if you're not paying rent, if you're not paying anything towards it. And if she quit her job, if she was a marine biologist, they earn a lot of money. And you're living in a 4-bedroom house with a pool, your partner's left because you're being stingy with money, or because you don't want to pay the rents because you don't believe in it. Yeah, it just sounds like you're being kind of hypocritical, like you're trying to blame everything else around you for the situation that they're in. But yeah. Well, guys, let me know what you think of this lady. I think she's disgusting and a bit crazy. Living in the tent part, not so much. I'm in a shack, basically. But yeah, so leave a like, leave comments down below, hit the notification bell, look out for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.